in a sec. Okay, so assuming this like is smooth and whatnot, I'll probably upload this to YouTube, but we're gonna watch the Xeno 3 Direct first. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I have played all the Xeno games. I just haven't played the Torna DLC yet for Xeno 2, but I liked all of them. I played even Xeno X. Really solid games all around, so I'm excited for Xeno 3. So I'm not going into this Direct thinking it's going to be like a God tier one or something, but I am interested. I'll probably pick it up as soon as it comes out and maybe stream it right away. And then after Xeno 3 Direct, we'll go over the FF16 interviews that came out, because there's lots of juicy, cool information I want to talk about. All right, so let's start this up. Hopefully, if the volume's all screwed up, let me know. But we're going to jump right into it. I'm still shocked this game's coming out as soon as it is, where they bumped up the release date, which is kind of crazy. You would think it'd be the other way around. Okay.
You were all talk when you left here, but you've nothing to show for it, D.
Oh, spare me, P.
We should have sallied forth in the first place.
Surely the turn is mine.
I believe it's my turn next.
Honestly, you make more noise than the rabble at a feast. Even if you did stop its raging flow, it will soon burst through.
That voice seems familiar.
Let us see how far the flow brings them this time.
I just hope they don't talk about too much politics here, because that's what I think they did that in Xeno 2 in one of the directs for it or whatever. It was pretty boring.
10 years. We call them terms. Life begins with our first term and ends at the close of our 10th.
Victory!
And over the course of those 10 years, we fight continually.
I hope this is not DMCA.
Of course we're gonna survive. I've thought about this a lot. About what I can achieve. What I'll leave behind.
Then I think of tomorrow and the tremors are back. Will I see the same faces when I wake?
The voices are already way better than Xeno 2's IMO already. We'll see if that stays.
Now, the enemy is before you. Chase them to the ends of the world.
Unchecked, Ouroboros will lead this world to ruin. You must be erased.
These soldiers will nourish me, and we can always grow plenty more.
Yeah, they still have mech on, it looks like, in some form or another. They got the Monado still. They have the races still. All the different races.
You gave us a choice. The choice not to fight. And you made it true.
That mark there. Late 10th term, eh? 3 months left. That about right?
3 more months. And then I'll be gone from this world.
So I wonder if the story's gonna be trying to stop that from happening. Like break the cycle.
We have good reason to meet with them. To bring peace. And to set the world to rights.
There's a lot going on in this game. In the story.
This is bad, Noah.
Now
Of course they gotta have Nopon still.
to live and learn.
It's not a Xeno game without Nopon.
This'll buy you some extra time. Use it. Stop this. I don't want any of your time.
She looks too much like Nia, it's bugging me a little bit.
These are our lives here.
Main character looks pretty cool though, I'll say.
Toys you can just play with.
Mr. Red Swag over there. Alright, that's a cool intro. One of the Nopons called Riku. No fucking way.
Many have tried. But none have ever managed to escape its flow. What is it they need to stay alive?
This is already kind of interesting story.
Certainly. But what we need most is life itself. Taking each other's lives. With the taken flames becoming your own in turn.
This is the world of Ionios. The nations of Kevis and Agnes and their grisly conflict stand in contrast to its natural
Oh god, they're getting
splendor.
political.
All this killing for the sake of filling one's own flame clock.
What?
From the moment of birth, fighting is all the people of Ionios learn. Their fate leads to everyone's destruction. Their lifespans are a mere 10 years. Surviving on the battlefield, fulfilling that 10-year lifespan of service, and receiving a homecoming ceremony in front of their queen is the highest honor.
It's pretty fucked up.
However, many never receive this honor as they fall in battle. Their souls
And that's when you gotta
evaporating
perform the
into
sending.
beyond as the melody of the Offseers plays. In today's presentation, we'll introduce the world of the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 game and follow the main character's adventures.
Somehow I thought it was like a narration from the game itself until there. I guess I didn't pick up on that. I was like, wait a minute, what now? Hey Ian, yeah, this game looks fucking awesome.
Have lost their lives.
Already, and it's like I don't even know much about it.
What do you think it's like for us?
Main characters all look cool too.
After friend.
The Nia girl looks a little too much like Nia, but you know.
6 soldiers, 3 from Kevis and 3 from Agnes, were commissioned to take part in a special mission. Both parties, filled with mutual hatred, draw their weapons at first, but when they encounter a mysterious figure, they shelve their
Mysterious figure?
distrust and resolve to work together.
Because now, kids, you share a common destiny. They'll hunt you constantly, relentlessly, without rest. There's one place that might give you a chance. Sword March. The land pierced
Sword
by a
Valley?
great sword. Our city.
Defeat the real enemy and restore the world to order.
Okay, so cool team up, you know. Rivals into team up
This story
combo, pretty
focuses
standard
on these
stuff.
6 characters.
This is what we're meant to do.
No, a decent
To
name.
send on the voices of the departed is an Offseer's purpose.
Yeah, he's a goody two-shoe guy, I guess, yeah.
From the moment I chose this muddy
You-
path, I've
you
been more
me?
than ready.
God, I can't do that.
Spark you on about? I'm not gonna let you take the fall alone.
Okay, they all have pretty... I like how they're telling you their
thought about this a
personalities right
lot.
away. Mio,
About
Nia,
what I can
Mio.
achieve. What I'll leave behind.
You think Mio drinks Mio?
If anything, we should be questioning all that we've thought to be true. Differences are all a matter of perspective.
The truth is,
It's the glasses
she's
that makes him
terrified.
smart, for
she
sure.
needs someone to tell her that everything will be all right.
Now
Names are pretty cool.
fugitives of both Kevis
Overall.
and Agnes, these fate-defying hopefuls journey to learn the truths of their world.
Okay, we got a decent plot going, you know, good team-ups.
Their role is to convey the Queen's directives to the
I
colony.
wonder how fast you
along
get
with
these
her
party
admin
members, like if
and
it's right off the
decision-making.
bat, you know, like that's how the game
Our
starts.
colonies regard each other as enemies. But if the consuls giving the orders are the same, it means...
But these guys are mega suspicious?
I suspect they may be more deeply involved than we thought.
Yeah, it's Zeno. The music's gonna be top
The
tier
reason why we
regardless.
fight, with deciding our fate.
Our fate. So hot.
The giant
It's
worlds are
together
the
now,
big
Mimi.
appeal of Zeno
Hey, look,
games
there.
usually.
Mimi, look! It's water! There's an oasis!
Water. Water.
Cats love water, I guess.
Let's just hope it's not a mirage.
Xeno does a pretty good job of like
Ionios is
having
host
stuff
to
in their
various
worlds, though.
landscapes,
Man,
all filled with surreal
very
geography
familiar.
to explore and
Littoral
diverse
marsh looking
wildlife to
area,
encounter.
cool. Aerith Sea, this is all so familiar, man.
Like the lands they inhabit,
Cool.
the wild creatures here range from docile to dangerous.
Yeah, I gotta pause this. So this was interesting to me because when I played Xeno 2, they don't really like tell you anything if it's connected to Xeno 1. When you play Xeno X, you know Xeno X is not connected to 1 or 2, right? What I thought was interesting that Xeno 1 and Xeno 2 shared a lot of the same enemies, but Xeno X does not. This game shares the same similar enemies of Xeno 1 and 2, but not X so far. So just throwing that out there.
Some creatures make no secret of their ferocious
The
tendencies.
movable Gonzalez is still
so
in this
keep
too,
caution in
damn.
mind.
Bringing back a lot of the big boys,
You'll
even
also
other big
encounter
boys,
the
cool, new
soldiers
ones.
of Kevis and Agnes, who continue to fight throughout the land. Colonies serve as the base camp for both nations.
Okay, more than one colonies. Yeah, so a
At
lot
the
of parallels
heart
to
each colony is
Xeno
a
1.
Varanus. These are mobile bases and devastating weapons of war. Seek out these colonies to
Colony
shop,
9.
dine,
All finished.
get to know residents.
There's probably a lot to
and more.
take in here. It's like information overload. Oh god, they brought back this nonsense again. I hate the fucking affinity
Get a
chart.
glimpse of the lives of Noah and his
It's so
friends at
annoying
these
to
rest
max
stops
it out
found
and
in
fill it out
colonies and
completely.
throughout the world. Use collected materials to cook.
This is where all the weird Cage fans complain about food
Craft gems to
mechanics.
strengthen your abilities.
Looks good to me. I think we'll find this useful.
Alright, so
And
hold on.
discuss
I gotta see that
information
again, actually. Hold on.
Your
Fuck. Go back.
Craft
Alright.
gems to
So they have gems again. Gems were one of the more annoying features of Xeno 1 because they're almost pretty useless until like endgame, postgame stuff. It's easy gem crafting this time.
strengthen your
Hopefully.
abilities.
Because it was pretty bad in Xeno
Looks
1
good to me.
overall.
I think we'll find this useful.
And discuss information you hear about from residents to take on.
I don't want to sit here and analyze the whole thing constantly, though. It might be annoying. So I'm going to try to hold back a bit. So yeah, Xeno is known for having, you know, shit tons of side quests. What will be interesting is if they're important in any way, or relevant, and not just go kill this enemy, grab this item, grab that item, which Xeno 1 does a lot of.
And ferocious monsters.
Xeno X did a
Enjoy
decent
the
job
world
of
and
tying in the
fulfill
side
your
quests to the story,
wanderlust at
though.
your own pace.
Or like making them stories. What the hell? Hold on. Oh, hold on, a lot's going on here. Hold on. First of all, that chest though.
Valuable items
It's a mini game.
and ferocious monsters.
Weird.
Enjoy the world.
See,
and
that's
fulfill
cool.
Your
That's new.
wanderlust at your own pace.
This is cool, dude. Oh. This is how you do this shit. This is how you do giant big areas.
The locations you visit are saved as
Ooh, you still get
landmarks
EXP
that
from
you can
landmarks.
quickly
Nice.
select and travel
Speedrunner's
to,
probably happy.
which makes traversing this giant world more manageable.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't make the same mistake they made in Xeno 2 and make the map system, like the warping map system, not a train wreck. It was awful. Unless they patched it and I missed it, because I guess I haven't played it since release, but it was absolutely fucking trash garbage.
By enabling a navigation feature, you can set a course for your next destination
Yeah,
without
that's
fear of
standard.
losing your way.
That's pretty... The
There are
line thing
plenty
is
of other
pretty cool.
features that will help you in
A
your
little
adventure,
babying, but useful.
such as the ability to change the time of day to encounter monsters
Yeah,
that
yeah, see?
only appear at specific times.
Yeah, that's standard Xeno stuff they're teaching us. Xeno X did that stupidly, though. You had to like go to specific spots to change the time. That game did it the worst. Doing it on the fly is much smarter. Alright, combat time, let's go.
Draw his attention for me. Uni!
Cover fire!
Xenos are known for having complicated battle systems you have to pay attention to and absorb slowly.
Understood.
Just
This
seems
song,
like
though.
Thanks, everyone.
This game's gonna have
I'll count down
god tier
from 3.
music, I can already tell.
3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Draw your weapon when encountering an enemy to seamlessly enter battle.
Oh, hold on. We got air slash, sword strike, ground beat. Okay, it's pretty standard stuff. You can see, See, I haven't been following the Twitter. They probably explained a lot of this already, but I kind of just figured I would either wait to play it or just see it in like a presentation. Yeah, it's like cool stuff. You got like all these party members over here on the side. HP bar is pretty cool. Yeah, like it. The UI in general is pretty good. I like it so far. The arts are very, you know, reminiscent of Xeno 1. Sorry, not Xeno 1. No, it's Xeno 2, I think. Yeah. I think I'm mixing them up. Xeno 1 had the side arts.
Your approach to attack,
but this is familiar to Xeno 2, where it was a block
to
thing.
strive for victory. Arts have a variety of effects. Some can throw opponents off balance.
Yeah, they brought back Topple.
Inflict more damage.
They probably have days too, based on what I was seeing there. So usually it's like you do break into Topple into days. I saw chain attack there.
Each
Yeah.
art is assigned to a button, making them simple and easy to execute.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way Xeno is. They don't make weird like fighting game input stuff.
Each
You know.
character takes on a specific role during battle.
Okay, it's standard too.
Attackers excel at
Shulk, yeah,
damaging enemies.
basically Shulk.
Defenders
Got the Rhine
block
here,
enemy
yeah.
attacks and draw their aggro. And healers can restore HP to keep you in fighting shape.
What was interesting in Xeno 1, I liked a lot. I didn't play enough of Xeno. I mean, I played Xeno 2 completely, but I didn't like dick around too much in it. But Xeno 1 was cool in the sense that you could, you didn't need a healer all the time. A lot of times you could actually just go full DPS teams and just take down enemy or mob fights and bosses before they can like kill you. And that was a lot of the strat I did. By the way, I'll thank the subs after.
Playing their role effectively is a key point to battling. You can freely swap the character you control at any time.
A lot of this is, I mean, probably people who play MMOs look at this and are like, oh, you know, it's nothing. But a lot of normal RPG or JRPG players look at the screen like this and are like, oh my god, there's so much info. But a lot of it is, a lot of this looks like standard Xeno stuff. And once you get used to it, it's pretty straightforward. So if you guys play this for the first time, like let's say this is your first one or whatever, I highly recommend you, one, pay very close attention to the game tutorials. Hopefully they do a better job of the game tutorials than Xeno 2. Xeno 2's tutorials were trash garbage. But secondly, don't be afraid to fight random enemies, maybe like slightly weaker ones, and pay attention to what's going on the screen everywhere every time you do for like a few, to try to grasp what's happening instead of just going into like high intense battles constantly. That's what I recommend. Because there's a lot of times in Xeno, there's key things you need to catch on to.
String together arts to activate a combo.
I don't know what's going on there on the
advantage.
left side though, on the bottom left.
Get the enemy
Interesting.
off balance. Knock them to the ground.
Yeah, break in the topple. Yep.
Launch
Days.
them into the air,
Launch.
then
Oh, launch
smash
was
them
in
down.
Xeno 2, and oh
Stringing
yeah,
together
okay.
successful
I remember now.
combos
I
is
forgot Xeno
quite
2 had all those
satisfying.
different mechanics.
You can
All
link
right, chain
multiple
attack. Yep.
arts with stunning chain attacks to devastate enemies. Deal heaps
Chain
of
attacks were always
damage at
kind of cool
once
because
and
usually you
let
could
nothing
devastate
stand in your way.
enemies with it.
This isn't the end!
They could be kind of broken though, depending. Classes galore.
What is it?
Does this
An
mean
icon just popped up.
that they can change
Over
their
your
classes? Like Xeno X?
Yours seems to be the only one not locked.
Because I know in Xeno 1 and 2
It's
you
not
couldn't.
Like a sparking light bulb.
Wow.
I've never used this kind of blade before. But all
Looks
the
like it.
techniques I can use with it are flashing before my eyes.
This will add
Each
a lot
character
more
in your party
variety.
has
This is a
class that
smart
influences
choice.
how they battle.
Don't know how this is even working, but cool.
Each class has its own attributes.
This is going to add a lot of replayability
Sword
too. Sword fighters
Lead the
probably
fight
like
with
the
this
Shulk generic
well-balanced
class,
attacker
yeah.
class.
I'd probably want to use.
Zephyr. Evade attacks and unleash powerful counters. Medic Gunner. Restore allies' HP and strengthen their abilities from a position of safety.
I can't stress enough how much better the voices are in this game than Xeno 2.
Disrupt enemies and support allies using paper talismans called Mondo. Heavy guard.
I think they actually listened when everybody hated the English voices in Xeno 2.
Defend allies and draw enemy aggro.
I'm more of a just physical, up-in-your-face attacker usually in these games.
With massive power.
Interesting one there.
Your class can also be changed to match that of your allies. Spend time learning multiple classes for a well-rounded team.
Standard
Experience
advice.
earned on the battlefield increases your class rank and lets you learn Master Arts, a set of...
Oh, no, hold on. Alright, what do we got here? Lots of shit going on. So yeah, it gives you a full breakdown of each art. You get to equip Master Arts? Hold on, let me go back. I think she was explaining a little
your
bit.
Class rank and lets you learn Master Arts.
Okay, Master Arts are oh, is that the thing on the left side I was seeing confused about? That might be.
Set of beneficial art.
So yeah, like Giant Swing here, you can learn huge power multiplier. It does knockback, I guess. One target, so not an AoE physical attack. Okay, so it's like a big slam on one enemy.
Class.
Cool.
With Master Arts, even your defender can take a moment to heal their allies. The more arts and combat strategies you wield, the easier it'll be to blaze through battles.
This is probably going to be necessary to efficiently use this kind of stuff because Xeno games don't really fuck around. If you're not paying enough attention to that stuff, you're gonna wall yourself on bosses and like tough bosses and mob enemies that are just like big tanks, really. So you probably are gonna have to be pretty efficient with this. Relatively efficient. I'm sure you could still like spaghetti through it a lot.
You can unleash fusion art attacks that combine the effects of two arts into one.
That's deep. I like that. That adds a lot of depth. A lot of potential. There's so much potential in this combat system. It's gonna confuse first timers, but that's Xeno for you.
Fiercely, die spectacularly. That's how I want the battlefield
What's
of
this
my
mean?
life to be. It's just that as a mechanic, you can't start getting moody.
Yeah, I get Xeno X vibes a lot from this game too. I like it. I think Xeno X had the best battle system out of them all. It really is named Riku.
I just wish I wasn't such a
Fiona? That's not Fiona.
I can't run away from my
Oh no, that's Fiora. Never mind. I'm mixed it.
doing the same as everyone around.
Wrong character.
It's always the same outcome. Following the playbook to the letter is hardly a strategy.
Whoever goes up against me,
Aw, sick.
they're getting crushed.
Edgy ass character. He's cool. Edgy
Brave
ninja.
residents of Ionios called heroes can lend their arms and aptitude to your team as a 7th party member.
Ooh. That's interesting too.
Only one hero at a time can assist on the battlefield, but you can swap them out as you see fit. Heroes also bring their own classes to your team. Guardian Commander. Turn the tables with boosted abilities when things look dire.
This game is awesome. Or it's gotta be awesome.
More critical hits for higher attack power.
Watch out, FF16.
Heal party members and bolster them with various buffs. These are only a handful of classes that heroes bring. Your party members can take on any of the hero classes.
God, they went all out on this.
Recruit more heroes for a growing combination of classes and arts in your party. Choose to don a class's look.
Hopefully this doesn't age terribly, but what I already love, though, that I didn't mention is that there's no gacha system. So that looks like it's an important part of the game, because that's what made Xeno 2 playthroughs like different for everybody, is the gacha system with the blades. But in this, unless the classes are somehow a gotcha system, it should be a lot better. Unless I'm wrong and they introduce some garbage like that.
Or keep your current outfit.
Yeah, that's okay, Ian. I was happy to help you in Xeno 2.
For the future.
Xeno 2's tutorials were bad enough where everybody needed it. I remember when the game came out, I had to like Google search pictures of the tutorials because that's basically what they were. They were just some text on the screen where it was like it taught you how to like topple enemies or whatever before anyone could even do it. And then by the time you get to it, it's like you don't remember the setup or whatever. I can't remember if that's exactly how it went down, but it was very close. How far are we on this? Oh, wow. Time's flying.
What is that thing?
This is no normal creature. It's something else.
You've got a real death wish.
So these just like the main villain types of this game.
Get out the way. You're just slowing me down. The nerve on this guy.
One down. Good start. It's not over yet.
I felt her thoughts. Or maybe her memories. There were so many. And then they were a part of me.
By joining together in battle through interlinking, 2 characters in your party can fuse into a fiercely powerful form.
Oh, well,
known
fuck.
As an Ouroboros. Here are the character pairs that can interlink.
Interesting.
Transform into this fearsome fusion by interlinking during combat. Clear out the battlefield by using Mighty Ouroboros arts before time is up and the interlink deactivates.
Jesus. That's pretty cool. So you got chain attacks and this? Unless they both share like the same resource, then that would be unfortunate probably, but... I fucking love the launch animation.
Selfish how?
I'm not gonna go back.
Every time we interlink, they're the ones taking the lead. So you'd prefer to take the reins? I just want to do more. Like, pull my weight. You know?
Lance, come with me! I'm all set!
I feel like everything in this game is cooler than everything Xeno 2 did.
Being a single body, the Ouroboros is controlled by only one of the 2 characters. Swap between them to modify the form and arts of the Ouroboros to fit your approach.
I assume the game will have a tutorial
Earn
for all
points
this.
in battle to make the already powerful Ouroboros even stronger.
Be even more broken. It's probably not broken, I assume.
I'll make it count.
If it is, it's probably very
Ouroboros can
limited.
also take part in chain attacks with the rest of the party.
Could be wrong though. They could fail to balance the game correctly. That is a thing that happens. Xenos, I think, are pretty overall decently balanced, so they're actually, I feel like, pretty hard to break. Like casually, not speedrunning sense. Well, fuck, that's cool. I like that animation. Ah, it's
We were
almost
sworn
over.
enemies once, and yet we all share the will to live in the now.
Until now, I was afraid to take that first step. But now, I can do it.
Yeah, you had to like super big brain to break those games.
Just yet.
So now I ain't afraid. Yeah, I'll keep going. While my flame still flickers to the bitter end.
God, everything looks cool about this game. It's crazy.
Me and this world.
We'll build it for ourselves. A world with the freedom to choose.
Wow. Who's the absolute geniuses that put this direct together?
Broaden the world of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 with a paid expansion pass.
Oh god, $30 to do what now? Hold on. Helpful items. Outfit colors, okay, skins, whatever. Not worth $30. Challenge battle, I don't know what that means yet. New hero character and quest. Oh boy, this might be a need to do thing. Oh, I just realized it's released by... So $30 covers all this, yeah. And then in December of 2023, there's going to be a brand new story scenario. Okay, if the $30 covers, like, basically an entire new story scenario and all this, then there's been worse. Going down the list, it was a little bit sketch, but... It's a lot of, like, I have to see what this challenge battle stuff really means, because, like, right, you know, going down the first 3 segments, it's like, eh. But then the last one's like, oh, that could be big. But paying $30 up front to get to that, you know, possibly really good thing that's, like, a year and a half away is kind of, you know. All right, so before, I think this is the end of it, right? Oh, dude, look at that. Look at the triple Minato thing there. That's cool. I like that.
You can get the additional content shown here. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is compatible with Amiibo figures. Tap any Amiibo to acquire helpful in-game items for your adventure.
Oh, okay.
Tap the Shulk Amiibo to change a character's
Can I bring
sword
Marth
to
into the
appear as
game? That'd be
Minato
pretty cool.
when using Noah's sword fighter class.
Wow. Cool, cool. I don't have a Shulk Amiibo. I have like a Meta Knight one and a Sheik one that Kiwi bought me.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 launches July 29th.
That's so soon.
Thank you for watching, and enjoy your adventures in the world of Ionios.
Let's end it there. All right. So, wow. What a fucking direct presentation for this game. They did it so well, and it's just so interesting to see. Like, I feel like they took everything that everybody hated about Xeno 2 and were like, okay, fine, we'll fix it, and then here's this game. The first thing I noticed, though, I think, or one of the first things I noticed was definitely the voices are way better in English. And it's like, I feel like you might be able to be like, well, yeah, you know, it's not the whole game. The other voices could all be shit, but it's like everything I've heard so far is good. Remember Xeno 2 where like Rex is insufferable to listen to? And I don't usually like the dog on voice actors very often, but he was not good for Rex. And even other ones, like I thought Neo was pretty bad too. And, you know, Morag, whatever, stuff like that, you know. I thought Xeno 2 voices were a huge downgrade from Xeno 1. We'll push Xeno X to the side for now, which I thought was okay voice acting in that game, pretty decent. And then this one's just like, feels like a straight upgrade. They had no voice direction, which was sad. Oh, really? Well, that sucked. I'll definitely be playing the English voices. You didn't like Nia. I'm not saying I didn't like her as a character. I just didn't like her voice acting in English. The areas, from what we've seen so far, are very what we're used to seeing in Xeno, and I expect them to deliver musically. I expect them to deliver graphically. You know, Monolith Soft has gotten much better, and you know, you can't expect Square Final Fantasy level graphics with this company, especially not on the Switch. Who knows if they're dumbing down hard to compete on the Switch or to make it work on the Switch. Combat mechanics are very impressive. It's exactly what you would want in your Xeno games. If you don't want complicated game mechanics in your Xeno game, or like in-depth ones, I shouldn't make it sound like it should be as complicated as possible. If you don't like in-depth combat mechanics in your Xeno game, you're probably into the wrong series. And it feels like with the reintroduction of classes that Xeno X had, it adds a lot of combat depth and replayability. So I'm sure the game's probably gonna have New Game Plus, I'm sure, but it allows you to mix things up a lot more. You spoke to Pyra's voice actor. She was like, yeah, they just said, here's the script, now read it in accent. You wouldn't think. Oh, that's so sad. They botched that then, and like Pyra and Mithra were pretty good voice actors in Xeno 2, I thought. I don't know if they're the same in any way, but But then it's just like Rex and Nia, and I can't even remember some of the others, but it's like, yeah, Morag too. Yeah, they were just like kind of whatever. Although Malos, that was his name, right? The villain. He was awesome. He was my favorite in Xeno 2. He just brought the full fucking energy of the entire game. It's like he sucked up all the energy of all the other voice actors and just went insane. I couldn't believe it. Right up to the final boss fight, right before you fight him, man. Just full intensity. And apparently, like, I remember looking him up. He didn't do much back then in voice acting. I don't know if he's like gotten to more stuff, but like he's relatively doesn't do much. And I was like, man, he should do more. So yeah, as a whole, this game right now looks incredible. I didn't expect to be blown away, but they really did a good job going in depth of the combat. Like, they spent a lot of time on the combat, which is, right up my alley. Jin was great too. Yeah, Jin was like the pretty cliche, edgy voice, but he was fine. Did I play Torna? Not yet. I gotta play it. I'm playing it probably before this comes out. Because once I beat Xeno 2, I kind of just was like, the only thing I really, really liked about Xeno 2 was the endgame story of it. Because everything before that I didn't really care about. But the way the big reveal, which I guess I don't want to spoil in case anyone hasn't played them, it was a mind blow that I was desperate to run into. It was exactly what I wanted. And I hope Xeno 3 does something similar. Because like after the Xeno 2 ending, you have to wonder, what happens from there. And this world feels like it's essentially the same world in some way or another. Whether or not it, happens before or after Xeno 2, who knows? All right. Torna's 40 hours if you're not doing side quests. Somebody said it was less than that, I thought. Playing Torna on stream. Oh, it's tempting. I gotta finish Dark Souls 3 first. Okay. So, we're gonna switch shifts a little bit here. I'm going to, I have a little bit of background music to play while I'm reading an interview, basically, so it's not just nothing happening. Hold on. I gotta disappear this real quick. There it is. So we got this article here made by Orpheus Joshua, who, by the way, used to be a sub here. He writes for this Noisy Pixel site. He put a good comprehensive article on the collection of interview info, so we're going to go through that. Hold on. Where's my music at? There we go. I just have a playlist that's going to go of, like, random Final Fantasy chill music. Where the fuck is the article? Oh, here we go. All right. So it's going to be... Maybe I should have started with this, because that's hard to beat. Anyway, so FF16... a game, I've been impressed that this game has been going really smooth in development and that they're essentially done now and just, tweaking stuff and whatever. The trailer is pretty decent for this. I think what I was unsure about is, the UI was kind of ugly and the story didn't, like, the story elements they've revealed so far was kind of like a whatever. It made me think a lot about Attack on Titan, by the way, but, well, I guess we won't go into that can of worms. But, I think they're gonna have to do a similar thing that Xeno just did in sort of a presentation to make us care more. Because right now, it didn't really drag me in. Of course, the combat is what is interesting to me in this game. So let's go through this. I don't know if I want to read this word for word, but because I know there's like bullet points later where we can go over that people are probably mostly tweeting, I think. So this part's just like a little bit of an Can you see my mouse? Okay, yeah, I left it on there, good. I just want to make sure this shows up on stream. Okay, so comprehensive support system in place for players who aren't too confident with action games. Yeah, okay, so they're taking the FF15 approach right off the bat, where they're like, a Final Fantasy game for everyone. Of course. I'm not going to dog on FF15 for the fact they tried to do that. but it seems pretty smart in the end to make a final. They don't want to go the complicated because Xenoblade's very established as a complicated battle mechanics game, right? Final Fantasy's not really like that. They never really were like that, and I think they don't want to be like that, is the vibe I get. Or if they do, they're gonna have difficulty modes to, kind of accommodate that. Alright, so where are we gonna... What else is here? I don't want to scroll where you can't see what I'm reading. So yeah, they're talking about how, the warriors that we see turn into summons are like the main theme of the game. You can transform into them, yep. I'm sure there's a lot to that. This song is giving me PTSD, I think. Yeah, alright. There's nothing really crazy here. Okay, the composer. Oh, the 14, yeah, that's right. So FF14 Composer worked on this. And 14 has pretty solid music from what I've heard. I haven't listened to the entire soundtrack because I've never played 14, but the songs I have heard are fine. We might be missing the, the emotional punches from Yoko's music in 15, but I think this is fine. Alright, I'm not going to go into these other articles. Oh, cool, we could buy some Kale-safe clothing, 50% off. Alright, so let's go over these bullet points. How do I pronounce this? Is it Icon? Icon? I'm not necessarily awesome at pronouncing anything in anything ever. We'll see, Sonic, but probably not soon. Does anybody know Icon? Is that what it's like? I hope it's like that, because that's so much easier to say. Or remember to say. Okay, Royal. Anyway, so this is interesting. The bouts, which are, the battles that we saw in the trailer of the summons versus each other, will be different each time. Pro wrestling match, 3D shooter, etc. That's a little silly, but if it's fun, it's fun, but... My problem with seeing those UI, the UI was terrible on the summon. It's like it was maybe it's like the intentional aesthetic of it, but it's like it looked like a shitty 2D fighting HP bar. I don't know if that's like it's supposed to be like that on purpose. Icon, okay, got it. Alright, new trailers coming this fall with lore and story focus. Okay. A little disappointed they wouldn't throw more combat into that, but that's their chance to try to sell the story, because right now, I don't feel like I care at all about the story in 16 for what they've shown so far. And I don't want them to spoil the whole thing, but they need to show more to get us interested. Alright, so we have the IGN review here. Clive, I assume is how you say it. Not a fan of his main character's name, but whatever. He'll have 1 or 2 more companions for combat and banter, though they'll be AI driven. They should make the banter AI driven too, for a very diverse playthrough for everybody. Just take Albert and put his AI into them. It'll just be great. Yeah, Clive. Not vibing with that name too much. Alright. FF16 is its own entity, separate from Final Fantasy XIV. Who has to clarify that in 2022? Is there some misconception I'm not understanding here? You can't be a fan of Final Fantasy. Not even a fan, it's like... I know some people still have the misconception that they might think all the Final Fantasies are connected if they never played any of them, or they played like 1. But that's a weird thing to have to specify by now. Is this what game articles are like? I don't know. I'm not going to pop out the IGN article to read that. I like that Noisy Pixel put everything like this together, so I don't have to dig into 17 different articles to get the interview info. So shout outs to them. Oh, this is the big one right here. It will not be open world. And I am 100% down for that. Because I think that was awful in Final Fantasy 15. I think that's what hurt it a lot, actually. Because, like, I think back, every time I think back, especially in comparison to Xenoblade games, it's, the way they did it was just so boring. It's like, yeah, big open world in FF15, but there's nothing to do in there. You know, there's like an enemy every 5 minutes or whatever, and then like maybe like a barn. It's just, it was too realistic of an area too. It's just all sorts of just boring to me. They did not, I don't think they got open world correct at all in that game. So them deciding not to do it in this game is, I think, the right choice. That's not to say I want it to be like FF13 running down hallways the whole time, but depending on how they handle this, it could come out to be awesome. And I am glad they're clarifying this. It's an interesting way they're justifying it, though. You know, focus on an independent area-based game design that can give players a better feel of a truly global scale. That's interesting. Okay, PlayStation did an interview too. You enjoyed the road trip. Well, that's what I did like about 15 was the dude bro cutscenes were all pretty solid and whatnot, you know. But that was where it was really after that. That's where it kind of ended for me. This is gonna be like open zones, kind of like Xenoblade, maybe. Who knows? We got to see more, I guess. All right, so here's the PlayStation bullet points. Game is fully playable from beginning to end. Okay, we knew this already. I don't know if this is a new interview. Though voiceovers in several languages are remaining. Okay. So that might be one of the things stalling them a bit. And why they couldn't probably release it this year is probably a lot of the dubbing. But yeah, the game's already fully playable. Probably not bug-free. That doesn't mean bug-free. So I'm sure they're working a lot on that. Which I hope they do a good job. Because if it... I don't think it's going to be the same problem 15 had. 15 had the development, just non-stop development problems, so I think we won't have to worry about that. Alright, so that was pretty short. Let's go on to this next interview segment. Oh god, this is blocky of text. Alright. 4Gamer had their interview. As the quality of graphics improves, do you often hear... Oh, this is the question, okay. Do you hear the comments like, this looks like a live action at this point? Alright, back in the day, games often were inaccurate from their real-life counterparts because of the lack of graphical power. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. We have a point where so many physics need to be calculated to consider, else it will look too unnatural. Yeah, which people do complain about that now these days. You know, if your physics are not on point, you get called out on it, unfortunately. Not only textures, but also the... Man, I should have blew this up a bit. My eyes are straining reading this. Not only texture, but the representation of the reflections of the surfaces of the characters. Okay, so it's like he's giving you in-depth about how difficult it is now. His objective is to make a game that would shock the younger generation and excite the adults who have experienced the sweet and sour sides of society at the same time. That seems hard to do. Reality certainly has its hard aspects, but I'm gonna try my best to be like Clive. Okay, it's bold, but alright, we'll see how that works out. As a result, the artwork, themes, and language became heavier. This is why FF16 has a dark fantasy-like atmosphere. I heard it's rated M, which is a really also bold move by Square, if true. But I don't know if it's in the state that's like the North American rating system or a different one, because North American Final Fantasies are typically teen rated, so that it has a broader demographic of people to play. Anyway, let's move on. I just want to make sure you guys could see everything. Non-stop clothing ads. I opened incognito, just no ad blocker or anything, which is fine. Anyway, at first, when you thought about what you should offer to the players, there was sort of a fork, because there was two types of fantasy stories. On one side, you have exhilarating fantasy stories that completely throw the rules. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So they have the completely non-realistic side. and the ones that are based on reality. Okay. So what did he do? Yeah, all right. So what he's saying is he doesn't like it going too crazy. That's interesting. I wonder how everybody feels about something like that. For me, I don't want it to be so realistic where it's like it's just like when you get to like the medieval kind of stuff, it can be a little, you know, boring if it's too realistic. So I think a good balance is what they should strive for, honestly. If you ask me. All right, Washington Post one. Oh, this is the one I saw on Twitter that made me want to really go into this. We have the... Alright, I don't want to... Let's not spoil everything. The Kingdom Hearts team at Square Enix has been especially helpful in contributing to those real-time combat and boss battles. It can be said that the battles in FF16 are in some ways an accumulation of the company's past experiences. So this one is... a lot of people are going to be like, huh, to this, I think. But to me, it makes complete sense. Because Kingdom Hearts is very good at the action aspect of their games. Certain ones, I guess, not all of them. But they're overall pretty solid in the way they work. And Kingdom Hearts 3, especially Remind, if that's what they're striving for, I think this is going to be a fun fucking game. It's interesting to say the Kingdom Hearts team. I wonder if that just means literally just Osaka now. Like, literally taking the Osaka team from KH3 and being like, alright, help us a bit. Because isn't the Devil May Cry... Oh, it's in the next thing. Okay, so... The combat director is Devil May Cry, yeah. So... That's interesting. Doesn't that make a lot of people hyped to have, like... potential Devil May Cry X Kingdom Hearts combat? Has anyone been like freaking out over that? That sounds like a pretty cool possibility of a mashup, right? Because people throw all over Twitter all these scripted Kingdom Hearts 3 data fights, right? Where they basically do Devil May Cry shit. And they're like, oh, look how cool this like scripted combo is. And it's like, isn't that kind of what this is probably going to be? Yeah, unfortunately, if you don't play Kingdom Hearts, sometimes you might be under the impression you just mash attack the whole time, which you can play on beginner, for sure. That's how you can play the game. Or in some of the games, even on proud mode, it can be a little bit like that if you're not, like, under-leveled. But... Like, the combat was still pretty good in KH3, it's just the balancing was bad, but... This doesn't say they helped with the balancing. If this interview said that the Kingdom Hearts team has been really helpful with the balancing of the combat, I'd be like, wait, hold on. Can we see what they're doing? But the way this is worded, it's just like they're helping with the, you know, the real-time action aspect, which Kingdom Hearts, for the most part, feels like they perfected, right? At least in my opinion, I don't know. And yeah, combat is definitely what I'm most interested at in 16 too, just like with Xeno though. But honestly, Xeno's story is looking pretty good too, though. I like the Xeno 3 anyway, for sure. I like the setting, whatever word I was looking for there. All right, so we have the Game Watch interview, which I already read this one where it's like the Devil May Cry combat director. Did his inclusion in the team impact the development? Who the fuck asks a question like this? Like, no, he was useless. So we couldn't wait for him to just leave the office every day. He just contributed nothing. What the fuck kind of question is that? It did, and a lot. Okay, yeah, he's not gonna say anything else. That's just such a funny fucking question. I can't get over that. Alright, with the exception of the Kingdom Hearts team, Square Enix teams in general, including the creative business. Yeah, so this is something a lot of people don't understand, is that Square Enix is very split into divisions now with teams. So, like, they have the ability to, like, delegate them really well now, I think, is what they were trying to do all this time. So that they can basically do whatever they need to do. Unless I'm misunderstanding, but, you know. Anyway... So yeah, basically it looks like Yoshida looks like he needed a good outsource of real-time action combat people devs to help them with this game, because it could have been potentially a mess if they tried to make it from scratch or something. Like, you know, maybe someone's like first time making real-time action or something. So yeah, that's interesting. He had no impact whatsoever. It's just so... That can't be, like... Who the fuck? Who... That's gotta be, like, a mistranslated question. If it read, like, how helpful was this guy, then that would make more sense. So maybe, hopefully, it's a mistranslation. Otherwise, this person doesn't know how to interview, in my opinion, based on this single question that is highlighted. Anyway, GameSpot has one bullet point here. 16 will be rated mature in most regions. Yeah. Oh wait, you can't see that. Hold on, let me scroll down. There you go. Will be rated mature in most regions, which that's what I saw on Twitter too. So I thought that's interesting. I wonder if that'll be the North American rating, because that could potentially hurt its audience. But I remember when I was a kid, I was able to buy M-rated. I bought Mortal Kombat, man. It didn't stop me. But maybe now it's harder. I don't know. There's probably like laws or something in place, but it's just, and your parents will probably just buy it if you ask, whatever. Anyway, Famitsu, a PlayStation 4 version of the game was considered, but ultimately dropped due to technical limitations. Okay. That makes sense. I know it's going to make a lot of people sad, and the people who haven't gotten a PS5 yet, even more sad, but that's just the way it has to be, I think. You can't forever have to dumb down the game to match PS4 when you're making a game for the next generation, That's just the way it has to be, I think. I don't see why they would, if they weren't trying to, like, push they're probably, knowing Square, they love to push the limits of the console they're designing a game for a lot of the time. Like, especially with the Final Fantasies. That's what they did with 15, and of course, ran into problems, but they still tried. I have no doubt they're doing that with 16. So they can't do that if they have to make it portable on PS4. So this seems like a smart decision, but I know a lot of people are going to be definitely butthurt about it because, not everybody wants to buy a PS5 yet. But, you got time if you're... I'm getting scam called. You got time. All right. Anyway, why are these links? Anyway, we got publication from Press Start. The title will follow the life of Clive during his teen years, 20s and 30s. So we got like a time jump, I guess, if that's not mistranslated. Okay, it's fine. There are no plans for FF16 to have I can't even say this word. They can't have lore material like FF14, as the game will be a complete experience. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, okay, so because Yoshida is like, known for FF14, I think a lot of his interview has to clarify it's not going to be like 14, which makes sense. His Clive. All right, and is that it? Okay, I think that's it. Did this site miss any important other interviews? So like I said, I didn't want to pop out every single interview and read through them to get these. This looks like it has a lot of the important ones and some of the ones I saw on Twitter. Famitsu has a better one. Well, theirs is up here. Where are they? Wait, hold on. I passed them, didn't I? Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the one where it... Oh, wait, you can't see it. Hold on. Yeah, this is the Famitsu one. He said something about how FF7R is a masterclass in combat or something. Yeah, FF7R is pretty good combat, yeah. It's not like I think a lot of people... Not a lot of people. I know, like, because I'm in the KH community pretty heavily, I know some people complained about 7R's combat because they thought it would have, like, the freedom KH combat has, and it's like, I knew that that's not what they're doing. So they'd be like, oh man, you know, like I dodge rolled, which is evade in that game, and I still got hit. And it's like, yeah, well, it's not really the intention of that move is to like iframe through everything. So overall though, 7R, yeah, I agree with that statement. Did I miss anything else important though? Before I stop reading it. This is pretty good info though, like overall, lots of interesting stuff. I love these clarifications. In like that one up there with the not open world, I like that a lot. That's an important thing to state early so people aren't expecting it. And, you know, I already saw some people joke about, because like that's one of the ones I saw on Twitter where I was like, oh my god, that's useful to see, you know, before I stopped reading everything. You probably all saw, but no controlling party. I didn't see that, but... Well, that's up here too, yeah, where he has 1 or 2 more companions. But they'll be AI driven, like that's right here. Which is, that when you're doing an action RPG, it's kind of hard to do that, you know what I mean? Like maybe you could switch on the fly, but, you know, adds a lot more complication to the design. He did mention that he knows 15 hurt the game rep. Yeah, it definitely did, and I know there's still a lot of 15 stands, and I really wanted to like the game when I played it. I bought a PS4 Pro before I had a PS4 at all. I bought a PS4 Pro just to play 15 right before it came out, and of course I played unpatched because they didn't, you know, it took them a little bit to patch problems, or a while actually. And it's just like, I was devastated with all the problems the game has. It had some good stuff in it, though. It's not like it was all bad, but it's just, it was so problematic. It was disappointing. And I have to put, based on Yoshida's, like, resume, basically, of game design, I have faith he's going to make this game at least crush 15 in reception. He talks about the different modes for the game. Okay, maybe I should pop this open. You mean the Famitsu one? You said, or someone on Discord said 7R Combat was a touched-up version of Lightning Returns. Oh boy. Kiwi played Lightning Returns, and she hated it, and I didn't see her saying she hates the way 7R looks, so I'm gonna say that doesn't seem right. One of the interviews mentions a skill tree system for each icon. Okay, that's interesting. It's hard to make that interesting, though, after the Xeno Direct we just had, where everything has mechanics. All the mechanics have mechanics, so... A demo, they need to do a demo, yeah. I think they will. Square's been pretty decent about throwing out demos lately. Like, Stranger of Paradise demo... Was it 3 demos they put out now? Pretty good stuff. They need to do something like that. I want you to link it. No, I think I got it here. Hold on. Wait, I keep losing my spot. Yeah, it has to be this. Uh-oh. Okay, give me the link. Google Translate. No, I'm on Chrome, but if there's a translated... Oh, it auto-translated. Okay, hold on. Translate to English. Alright, hopefully this works correctly. Oh, you guys probably can't really see this, right, huh? I guess I don't think I need to really display it, then I'll just skim through it and see if there's anything interesting. Alright, we got some bullet points here. Oh, those are just the questions. The trailer was finished in March. The only thing left to do was decide when it would be released. Oh, so I think the Ukraine war stalled them from releasing it earlier because it would have been too controversial. Maybe that's fine. I can understand that if I'm understanding this correctly. Which, you know, to be fair, it is a game, so people have to understand it's not real life. I don't think games should ever be held back based on what's going on in real life. At least in my opinion. Who knows if anyone else agrees. Interesting, he says that the reception was more positive than he thought it would be. Alright, what kind of concept is this trailer made? Or probably means has this trailer made? Oh no, he literally means the concept of the trailer itself. Okay. Google Translate failing me a little bit here. Alright, see, I can't read this word for word, or it's just going to be jargon upstream. So I guess I'll try to translate the translation. Okay, so he basically just tried to create a hype trailer to make it look like, oh, this is cool, you know? It kind of worked. I think it worked. When's the next trailer? Yeah, we know that already. It's in fall. Okay, so now it's about the two big decisions at the start of development about open world and command. Okay, that's all, like, whatever. Okay, I don't... Maybe I... Oh, wait, that's not the question. I think... Wait, this is hard to read. That's not the question. The question was after that. Yoshi and the team delayed a Leviathan fight because the devastating typhoon happened during development. Oh, and 14, yeah. Which, you know, that's probably a little different than, like, you know, an entire game, I guess. You know? So when did development actually start? In November 2015. See, that's so crazy. When did we get the first trailer or announcement trailer? That I feel like that was like, what, 2019 or 2020 or something? Isn't it somewhere around there? 2020, damn. The game was silently in development for 5 years. Am I understanding this correctly? How the hell did they pull that off? I like that though. The dumb thing that I think Square's been doing this recently, from what I've noticed, is they have stopped announcing their games too soon. They did that with 7R Part 2 as well. You know, they're like, yeah, like kind of soonish, you know. And I think that's smart. I hate when they release trailers when the game's not gonna be out for like 5 fucking years, and it's like, then everyone's all hyped and laughing about development taking forever and all that shit, and you just get memed on these days. So I like that mindset. Okay, so early on there wasn't a lot of members right away, so that explains why maybe it was slower at first. What did you focus on when developing the project after it started? Yeah, these are pretty in-depth questions. I don't know if they're super important to go into. It's just a lot of, like, you know, how did you start the game? Like, why did you do it the way you did it, or whatever. Good song. How did you work after the scenario was decided? Yeah, this is hard to understand. Oh, this is the question, the open world part, I think. Hold on. Okay, I don't think it was answered here. Yeah, he's talking about there's a lot of pressure to make a you know, the most recent Final Fantasy, but, you know, he's had that experience with the expansions of 14, so I guess he's a good person to handle that pressure. This is a pretty, wait, how long is this interview? Oh, wait. Oh, no, it's, oh my god, I can't go through all this right now. I'll be here all day. I didn't realize how long this is. Holy shit, this is a very in-depth interview. Let me see, I'm gonna skim through the questions and see if there's anything I really care about. There's another open world question. Okay, he's basically saying, yeah, I didn't think I wanted to do open world, so I'm not doing open world if I don't need to. I guess is the vibe I got from that answer. Now we're talking about commands, okay, on why he chose it. It's, you know, it is a hard thing to decide, because, you know, like Stranger of Paradise, for example, is not like command-based action, but it does it fine, but that doesn't mean Final Fantasy 16 needs to do it. So it's not open world, but just large areas. That seems to be what they're probably doing. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be FF13 hallway running. Okay, so yeah, that's the command section. I don't think you can see the pictures on... Oh, no, you can. Okay, so remember, it's hard to see. I just don't feel like Oh, yeah, here it is. This was ugly to me. I didn't like the way this looks. It just doesn't feel like it fits a new Final Fantasy from, like, a UI perspective. And I know a lot of other people pointed that out, too. But we'll see if they change it. I mean, I can't imagine that's a very difficult thing to just change with the amount of time they have left. Because it's not like they're changing, like, a huge mechanic of the game or something. Yeah, okay, so here's where he clarifies the other bullet point I read about the Summon Beast fights. They don't reuse the system at all. Everything is full scratch, and the game concept is changed for each battle. I like... like professional wrestling. Like, what? We're gonna fucking pile drive a summon or something? Like, what does that mean? I need more details. Put that in the trailer next time. That's cool, though. That you know, if they're gonna have these 1v1 summon fights, they're all gonna be different. It's probably the Titan fight, yeah. What else would it be, really? Bahamut probably would not do well in a wrestling match. Not play fair, anyway. What about the concept of FF16 in one word? It's a super class, super high speed roller coaster. That's not one word, but there's like hyphens in between. Yeah, I don't know. Are all the trailers in this time an in-game video? It's not an open trailer. It's all in-game, about 95% real-time processing. Yeah, that's the way the tech is now, so fine. Did the music stop? Yeah, I when I opened up this separate article, I didn't feel like recropping it because I'm just skimming through it fast. Hold on. The fucking music stopped. What the hell? There we go. Yeah, because like right now, a lot of these questions are like kind of just, it's just almost feels like they're bugging Yoshida about how he feels about the way the game's going. Talking about the development status, yeah. Yeah, a lot of this stuff we already knew from earlier. Oh, here we go. I'm really looking forward to the high difficulty mode. Oh, wait, let's go up, actually. Okay, so when you beat the game, you get a higher difficulty mode. Kingdom Hearts, yep, okay. So we get a critical mode after beating the game. That's fine. In the high difficulty mode, the equipment is restricted, and the UI can tell at a glance which mode you are playing. So the distributors do not have to bother to explain to the viewer. Oh, okay. Oh, so like, that's what that means. So basically, the game doesn't like have to tutorial you again, I think is what that means, if the translation's correct. Some of the text is not straight. I know, I'm not gonna re-screen cap when I'm just skimming through this one. I had the other one fully screen cap, but I didn't expect to read this much here, though. So it feels like I have to translate the translations because I Google translated this page. So it's a little rough to read. Alright, none of this seems like... there's a lot of questions. And a lot of stuff that I don't think I care to read right now. I'm just looking for any kind of cool things that are popping out. Now he's talking about the advantages of real-time rendering. Okay, this is the last thing he has to say. Do you have a message for game fans who are looking forward to the release of this game? Alright, this time we created a sharp action game, loaded it with a D-class scenario, and designed a game that runs at super high speed. So yeah, this is a little confusing, I think. Some may wonder, isn't it an open world? But when you think about creating a story-oriented fantasy that spans the world, this is the best choice for us now. Yeah, okay, so once again, not open world. Yeah, so he wants this to be like a must-buy for PS5, I guess. Okay. So, that's the other interview. See, this one was cropped correctly, this page. You don't really care about the lore questions before a brand new game was out. Yeah, if they're gonna do that, they should be in the trailer, you know, and hopefully not spoil everything. So I kind of mentioned that, because they're gonna have a lore trailer in the fall, apparently. Which, like I said, I kind of would want more combat. I want more combat details. Xeno Direct delivered with the combat details today, so that's what I want to see for this. But I'm going to bank on this game not having nearly as complicated battle mechanics as Xeno 3 will. But that doesn't mean it won't be fun. Did the music stop again? Nope, it's just dead time for a little bit. Okay. Bahamut's a big part of the story. Yeah, I know. He's like, you know, king of summons always. He's gonna be a dick again. He wasn't a dick, I don't think, in 15. He was good. Helpful. That was one of the things I did like about 15 was the summon shit was pretty cool. Broken, but cool. Okay, so yeah, overall, you know, pretty good info. This is why I like the noisy pixel version of the interview, because it just had so many useful bullet points instead of skimming through, like, 50 questions of, like, stuff you don't really care to know. He was pretty helpful in FF1. Yeah. Objectively extremely helpful in FF1. Alright, I don't want to ramble on forever, I guess, but as far as FF16 interviews go, yeah, there's a lot of good info on here. I like that they're clarifying, you know, it's not going to be open world, so people can't latch on to that possibility. A higher difficulty on completion is fair. Adds easy replayability for people who like to challenge themselves after their first playthrough, like me. Was there anything else here I pointed out a lot? Oh wait, I'm going backwards. The M rating thing might be interesting if it's like that in North America. No PS4 version makes sense today. I still gotta point this out again, this killed me. Did his inclusion in the team impact the development? I don't understand. That has to be a translation error. There's no way someone seriously asked that in an interview. Did this person that's a big part of the combat development of the game impact the development? I just can't imagine. It greatly harmed the development. We couldn't wait to get him out of the team. Ah, so funny. Okay, whatever. Alright, I think this is where if I upload this to YouTube, I think this is where I'll end the VOD.